Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alaihi wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam tabaraka wa sallama tasliman kasiran kasira amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa man ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allah wa amila salihan wa qala innani minal muslimin. My dear brothers and respected elders and sisters, when I say respected brothers, elders and sisters, they are either Muslim or they are either so-called Muslim or they are not. So this lecture is meant for the entire mankind. In the past, we always mention, dear brothers, respected elders and sisters in Islam. We used to say that because we talk and speak about Islam, and our audience are mainly, or may not only say only Muslim, so-called Muslim. We don't have non-Muslim except for Zakir Naik. But in fact, all lectures on Islam should be addressed to the entire mankind, cannot be addressed only to Muslim. All lectures on Islam should be addressed to the entire mankind, because Islam is a religion for the entire mankind. Unless we believe that Islam is the religion of only the Arabs, or the religion of Muslim, or the so-called Muslim, then we speak, my dear brothers and respected elders and sisters in Islam. Yeah, is it? That's usually the way how people are addressing their audience, isn't it? Because their lectures are meant only for Muslim or so-called Muslim. But the truth is, our lectures on Islam should be for the entire mankind, either so-called Muslim or not. Neither they are so-called Muslim or they are not Muslim. They are not so-called Muslim. They are not Muslim. Because Islam is a religion which Allah have chosen from day one, from the time of Adam till doomsday. The religion which Allah has given to the entire mankind to become their religion or their way of life is Islam. And Islam means peace. The word Islam means peace. Peace and love. So when we are looking at the condition, situation of the world nowadays, then we don't see that the so-called Muslim represents the religion of peace, isn't it? Why they don't represent the religion of peace? Because their lifestyles, the way of their conducts, are not reflecting the way of the life of the love of peace-loving people. They often, among themselves, not even with the others, among themselves, they are killing each other. how could you say Islam is, I mean, the Muslim are not reflecting, the so-called Muslim are not reflecting that Islam is a religion of peace at all. How could you understand that Islam is a religion of peace when people, the so-called Muslim of Taliban, you know, they are telling to the world that we are good Muslim, you know. The Muslim in Iraq and in all over the world, they are not people of peace at all. They like to quarrel, you know, and fight. Only lately it become not so obvious and not so frequent as it used to be, because there is a blessing of Allah which is showering upon the whole humanity due to the presence of the lover of Allah. But previously we are not. You know, the Taliban, when they overtake Afghanistan, they were not peace-loving people. Now they are a little bit more peace-loving people, not before. Because when there is not even a single person, you know, in this world who are peace-loving person, who are truly the believer, truly the lover of Allah, then the rahmah or the blessing of Allah will never shower on this earth, and people will be lived with hatred. Yeah? But since there is one person in this world nowadays because there is one person who has become the lover of Allah, then the shower of Allah start to come down, and the people become the tendency to make evil deeds, the tendency to do crimes have decreases dramatically. Malaysia, when in the 70s, in the 60s, you know, the Malays they are not peace-loving people. They killed the Chinese. They have in 1969, 13 May. But that will not happen now, because the blessing of Allah is showering upon the world due to the presence of only one person who is the lover of Allah. I'm telling you. And the mercy which Allah will bestow upon the person, upon the world, will increases as his iman and his connection to Allah increases. And finally Allah will make him to be the leader of the whole mankind. And then finally Allah will make through him the whole entire mankind to know the truth and to embrace the truth. And the whole entire mankind will be embracing the religion of Islam, living with peace and tranquility. We are, we are having tendency to do good deeds because of the rahmah, blessing of Allah. We can never do good deeds, having love and kindness towards each other, unless Allah showers blessing upon us. All the while, Allah does not shower blessings to the world, because there is not even one person who has successfully become the true lover of Allah. Like at the time of Omar bin Abdul Aziz, the rahmah of Allah was showered to that country. So one people living in faraway places, he doesn't know that the Sultan or the king has died, but when he saw that what is it? The serigala. Serigala is
The wolf.
the wolf. Devour the goat. Then he says the rahmah has disappeared. So the Khalifah has died. How do you know? They say because the wolf devoured the goats. They've been living kindly, nicely with each other. How come today he devoured it? Because the blessing has been uplifted. Because the Caliph Umar bin Aziz has passed away. These are the evidence to show. During his lifetime, the rahmah of Allah has been made to pour down to the earth. As a result of that, not only men and men, love and do kindness to each other, even animals, the wolf and the goats, live in harmony with each other. So all this while, we are almost like animals, sketching each other back, scratching, killing in one another, because there is no blessing, no rahmah being showered. There's no reason for Allah to shower rahmah. Why should He shower rahmah when everyone in the entire world are like animals? And when men are scratching each other back, killing each other, then naturally the animals are also killing each other. So you know how it works. I'm telling you how it works. That now slowly the world is at peace. Many people were telling that there will be World War III. But I'm saying it will not be. There is World War I, there is World War II, but the World War III will never come. As long as I'm alive. As long as my iman increases. As long as my status in the eyes of Allah are upgraded day by day. So the mercy of Allah keep on coming to the world, continuously. And as long as the mercy of Allah come down to the world, then there will be peace, love, kindness among men and among animals. This is how it works. People are wondering now why why there is not so much crime as it used to be. We used to have so many cruel men, who has become tyrants, like Botak Chin. Who else? Kalimutu, and then Mat Komando. What else? So many. They are all out. Their main aim of life is to do robbery, kill people. The police used to rush, against them, but they're not now. Since few years back, not that long. Can you find anyone? Any group like that? It comes from the Malay group. Come from Baling. Same. There's a called religious place. A group called, what is that? Mat Komando. Mat Komando? Geng Mama. So I think since a few years back, we have never heard of any group, isn't it? I've not become a lover of Allah for that long. Only for what, last 5-10 years. 5 years. So you can see, we have a situation in which we have a prime minister who robs the country with 1 MDB. He robbed the whole country together with his wife and Jolo. Even the people are angry, and yet they don't kill each other. There were 2 groups, one who love him and one who doesn't like him. If there is not a mercy of Allah, we surely have killing and fighting with each other before that person will be taken down from his rule of power. He was supported by all the UMNO. Tun Mahathir want him to relinquish his post as Prime Minister. He adamantly resisted. Collecting signatures, 1 million signatures, doesn't work. Vote of no confidence doesn't work. Then finally, Dr. Mahathir resorted to election in 2018. There was a very peaceful election. There's no killing. Why? Why we have killing and murdering in 1969 after the general election? Why we don't have? Why we don't have in 2018? We have killing, in 1969 after the general election. Because in 1969 there is no rahmah, there is no blessing. You don't say, oh, it's coincidental. No, nothing is coincidental. Everything has a reason. Why we don't have killing and butchering as we have in 1969? We are from that time in 1969. The news that people in Malaysia are killing and each other, the Chinese and the Malays, the news spread all over the world, and they say Malaysia is finished. It will not become a country of progress, but it will become a country which is backward, because peoples are not abiding to ethics and law and order. They kill each other. In 1969 was total curfew. At that time there's no lover of Allah in Malaysia. I was a small boy. I was only 13 years old, 14 years old. I remember. At that time, I was schooling at Sekolah Datuk Abdul in Tanjung Malim. Form 1. 1969. I entered Sedar 1968. There is no rahmah. Everyone in the world, including in Malaysia, are evil people. There is no person who has become lover of Allah. All crooks. So Allah did not shower any mercy. But in the case of Najib, we should have a fight if it is in 1969. If it is in 1969, we surely be people who kill each other. But we don't. And Tun Mahathir was amazed that we are able to bring down Najib from power with peace. General election. That's all. This is called the blessing of Allah. This is called the rahmah of Allah, which people do not know. Why the rahmah comes today? Why not in 69? Why not before? Why it is not before? Why it is now? There must be a reason. Simply coming, no, without a reason. If this country is filled with people like Yazid and Rashidi and you and every one of you and the whole world, and then there will be no rahmah coming. But because there's one person, with the grace of Allah, is able to become His lover of the highest degree. So the shower of Allah's mercy has been descended down to the earth. As a result of that, there is peace. Not so much, but it become even more. When I will be made the ruler of the country, the ruler of the world, then the whole world, the whole country, the whole world will be showered with mercy, as Omar bin Abdul Aziz has been made to become the Khalifa. When he was not made Khalifa, the mercy was not that much. So similarly, whoever the lover, when in this world there is a lover of Allah like Muhammad SAW and all the prophets of Allah like Ibrahim AS, not that when he become prophet, he was born only to this world. The fire, that the people of Iran has been worshipping for thousands of years, become extinguished. Only at the time of his birth. When he traveled with his uncle, Allah makes the clouds to follow him, to give shade to him. So the rahmah increases till he became the, since he is able with rahmah to conquer Mecca, the place of the devils. The Meccan peoples are devils, They are the companions of devils and they have become devils. They don't want Prophet ﷺ to live in peace. They want to kill him, extinguish him, butchered him. Because they don't want the great kalima to spread all over the world. But yet, Allah make them to be conquered finally with the rahmah of Allah. They're able to conquer Mecca with 10,000 armies. Hardly any person died. Hardly anyone. That is called rahmah. You can conquer Mecca with sword, many people killed, but the Prophet ﷺ, so much rahmah has been showered. They conquered Mecca with nobody, even anyone who has been killed. Everyone is entering Mecca with peace, and everyone is in their houses, quiet and silence. Even this wife of Abu Sufyan named Hindud was surprised. People are saying that Mecca has been conquered by Muhammad and his armies, but he doesn't hear any noises, any houses being burned, people are screaming. No, he said, it's so quiet, what's wrong? It is so different from other conquerors. When they come, like a thunderbolt, conquering and killing people, taking wealth, and molesting women. But this is quiet. So she come out to find out what has happened. Everything is quiet. Then he moved and walked slowly towards the Masjidil Haram, Kaaba. There he saw people, instead of fighting, they are circumambulating, or they are making tawaf around Kaaba and hymning the zikr of Allah, making dua, so that Allah give guidance to the people of Quraysh of Makkah. Oh, Hindun says, such a nice person. I never thought that they are like this. They are so good. So he said, I want to embrace Islam. So he told Nabi Sallam, before this, there is no tent which I hated the most except your tent. But when I have embraced Islam, there is no tent which I love so much than your tent. You see? This is Rahmah of Allah. And then the Rahmah goes on from people who are killing each other like Bedouin and ransacking place. Everyone is not safe. Women are not safe. The mercy come even to the extent that Nabi Sallam said, one woman walking alone, no one disturb her in the desert from Mecca to Sham. She can walk alone. No one will disturb her. This will never happen during the time when there is no rahmah. There is no blessing. You know, you can see women will be disturbed, molested. You know, people will fuck them. People like Hanzala will become devils at time when there is no rahmah. But when there is time of rahmah, the devil people like Hanzala become timid. Dare not to disturb ladies. Dare not to fuck them. Become so quiet. This is rahmah. When there is no rahmah, there will be wars. When there is wars, there will be fighting and killing, molesting. You know, women, children. These are what is called a world without rahmah. Everywhere there are evil and cruel people, everywhere. You know. We have in the past, in the early 1900s, people like Mussolini, people like Hitler, people like Stalin, so many devils. And then the devil numbers reduces day after day. We got Idi Amin also, devils. Idi Amin from Uganda start to kill people, drive people away. These are all cruel people. They are less cruel than Hitler, then the number less. Now we cannot hardly find anyone that cruel as them. You know, because the mercy of Allah is coming down, and the mercy will continually coming down as long as the person whom Allah loves is alive in this world. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love him, and Allah will make him to be the leader of the world. Allah mentioned in Surah An-Nur, truly I promise to those who are the true believers of good deeds, the power to rule the earth. Understand? Allah has promised to give the power to rule the earth to the lover of Allah, to the people who are the true believers of good deeds. So this is why he has given the power, because he wants to shower mercy to the world. When he come to power, the mercy will even overriding and overwhelming in the whole world. There will be no chaos, no treacherous action. People become soft, they become obedient, they will follow orders. So that's what it means when that person come into power, there will be peace in the world. It is mentioned when he come into power, peace will be enlightened in the whole world. That is called rahmah. Peace not among men, among animals too. So everybody is waiting for that day. The Muslim has been waiting for that day since immemorials. They were waiting and waiting and waiting. They call that person Mahdi. Some people call them, in the book of Hadith, they call a young man from the east. It's the same person. Young man from the east and Mahdi is a person whom the rahmah of Allah come to the world with his coming. There will be peace, not war. There will be love and kindness. Evil people become good people. Cruel people become loving people. This is what it means. So the rahmah start in Malaysia, because the person is in Malaysia. The people of Indonesia was so amazed with the character of Malaysians in time of flood. Not only Indonesian, the European, they were amazed with the qualities of the people in Malaysia. Their qualities while dealing with the flood. They still can smile. They can still help each other, not like any other places in the world. In time of such flood, nobody care. Nobody want to help. Everybody is running and saving themselves, isn't it? In other places of the world, in times of calamities, they don't behave like Malaysians do. These are being, the people of Malaysia may not realize it, but they've been witnessed by the European. They say they are living in Malaysia. It has already become Malaysian. I'm surprised. The Malaysians act so differently from others. Indonesian, the commentators in YouTube, they say we are surprised. Why? Why they become? I don't understand. I don't understand. They say. Yes, of course you don't understand, because the rahmah is coming to Malaysia. Why is it in Malaysia first? Because the man who is the lover of Allah living no any other place than in Malaysia. Why he become the lover of Allah? Not simply sitting down doing nothing. And he is not a person who is doing nothing, only praying. No. If it's only a person doing nothing, only praying for the mosque, then he will not become a lover of Allah. There are so many people in the world who are praying, even who praying much more than him. But the mercy of Allah, the love of Allah, the love of Allah, the rahmah of Allah not only come to him, to the whole people around him, in the whole country, and then the whole world. Because he is doing the work of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He is doing the work of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Not he is sitting down, praying and making zikir, reading Quran. No. If he is doing that, he will not become a person upon which Allah shower mercy on him and on other people who is around him and the whole world. In order to become that, he has to derive the love of Allah towards him to such a maximum level that the love of Allah which Allah has shown him spread out to others in his country, in the whole world. In order to do that, he should be the person who revive the work, the very work which Allah have sent, which Allah have said, O Muhammad, I do not send you to this world except as a mercy for the entire mankind. Why Allah Nabi Sallallahu is a mercy for the entire mankind? Because with his coming, people become obedient to the orders of Allah. People are having the belief towards Allah, and as a result of that, they are being saved from calamities in this world as well as in the hereafter. So he must be the person who revived the work of Muhammad Sallam, who invite everyone, not only the so-called Muslim like the work of Jamaat Tabligh, but to call everyone to embrace the religion of Islam. Those who have not recited the kalimah has been invited to recite it, to become believer, and those who have become believer are ordered, are invited to obey the orders of Allah. And the first order of Allah which they should obey is to do the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil, and performing the prayers, daily prayers. And who's that person? You should know. With that, I'm telling you who is he. It's surely the person who speak to the people every day about it and doing gush every day, and visiting the house for the last 20-30 years. He was only visiting the so-called Muslim used to be, but after 2009, 2008, he started to visit not only the so-called Muslim, but also the non-Muslim. And that is the work of the prophets. That is the work that drives the rahmah, blessing of Allah, not the work of Tabligh, Jamaat Tabligh. They are only going to so-called Muslim, asking them to go 40 days, 20 days, to rectify them. These are not the work of the Prophet. But the work of the Prophet is the work which I am doing. The whole world, only me alone. Who is doing it? In the whole world, only me. Zakir Naik is not doing the work of Nabi. He is just giving lectures. The work of Nabi is to do like Nabi. Go from house to house, from lane to lane, inviting every person, single person, either one who have recited the kalimah or have not recited the kalimah. We cannot miss anyone. And that's the work of a Nabi, a Prophet. And at night, waking up in prayer and asking dua from Allah to give hidayat to the whole people in the whole world. And these are the work which increases his iman and his connection with Allah, which make Allah to become, which make Allah to love him, and which make him to become adorable and more adorable, highly adorable to Allah. As his status towards Allah increases, the mercy of Allah, which will be showered upon him, will increases, even to the extent that it goes in the whole country, in the whole world. Understand? Not like Azri. He was busy in agriculture, making, growing chilies. This is not the work that bring rahmah. You know, to become doctors, engineers, to bring Grab, all this work we not going to take rahmah from Allah. But the work which I am doing is the work of the prophets, Muhammad SAW, which Allah said, I don't send you except for the rahmah of mankind. So for rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to come down to the world, we need a person, at least one person, who has become the lover of Allah, like Muhammad SAW. And with his coming, then come the mercy of Allah, the love of Allah, which not only fall on him, but overflow. Overflow, you know, overflow to the others around him, and the more it is, the more it will shower to the whole world. Then the whole world change from a place of terror and from a place of crimes, from a place of hardship, turned slowly to become a place of love and happiness, where people will engage themselves to the religion which has Allah has given for the entire and mankind to embrace. So these are the situation and the situation which are now happening in the world, which I'm telling you, that is coming nearer to the time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will shower the mercy to the entire mankind. Okay.